sky was dark. The wind moved slowly across the dead ground of planet Drekker 4. No animals, no trees, no sound. But someone was walking there. Su-R-O-K. One of the strongest hunters in the galaxy, stood tall with his long black armor. His 4 red eyes looked for movement. His steps made deep marks on the dry soil. He was hunting. But this time, the prey was different. A human Zurok had hunted many species before. Giant fire bears from planet Vorsk, invisible snakes from Gorion, even the flying beasts of the Twin Moon jungle, but never a human, his kind believed. Humans were weak, small, slow, not smart, a mistake of evolution. Some aliens even kept humans as pets, but now things were changing. Hunters started reporting strange feelings near humans. Some said they felt cold. Others said their hearts beat too fast. One hunter even said, "They smile too much. They know something we don't." Zurok didn't believe in fear until today. The mission was simple. 1. Human child had escaped a prison ship and landed on this dead planet. No food, no water, no tech. Alone, Zurok took the job himself. "I will bring its head back before sunset," he had told the council now. It was almost sunset, and Zurok had found the child. The child was sitting near an old crashed ship, human tech, broken, dusty, a small boy maybe 9 or 10 years old. God. Clothes were torn, his face was dirty. But he was calm. To calm, Zurok aimed his plasma spear from behind a rock. One shot, no mistake. The boy should not even know he was there. But then, the boy looked up, directly at Su-R-O-K, and smiled. For the first time in his life, Zurok froze. Why? The boy had no weapon, no armor, just a small human. A target, but something was wrong. Zurok's heart started beating fast. His skin felt cold. His breathing changed. He tried to aim again. His hands were shaking. No, not possible. He was a hunter. One of the best. He had killed beasts 10 times bigger than this. He had fought in the acid storms of Kramos 5. He had walked through fire. Why now? Why this fear? The boy stood up slowly, still smiling, not running. He walked closer to the broken ship and sat beside a piece of metal. Then he spoke. His voice was soft, calm, almost like he was talking to the wind. "I knew someone would come," he said, "but I didn't think it would be you." Zurok stayed hidden, confused, shocked. How did the child know? The boy looked at the sky. "You can kill me if you want. But do you feel it too?" "Feel what?" Zurok stepped out slowly, still pointing the plasma spear. "What are you?" he asked in a low, growling voice. The boy turned his head. "I'm just a human," he said, "but not like the ones you've met before." The wind grew stronger. Dust flew in circles around them. Su-R-O-K came closer. The spear was still shaking in his hand. "I've killed humans before," he said. "They cry. They beg. You're different. They—" Boy stood up again. "Because we're changing," he said. "You can feel it, can't you?" "No." "Then shoot." Zurok raised the spear that the boy didn't move. The hunter's finger touched the trigger, but he couldn't press it. His hand refused. He was sweating now, angry, afraid. "What are you doing to me?" he shouted. "I'm not doing anything," the boy replied. "You're doing it to yourself." Suddenly, the air around them felt heavy, like something invisible had entered the space. Su-R-O-K turned fast, looked everywhere. Nothing, just wind, dust, rocks. But he felt it, a pressure on his chest. A presence, like something was watching. Not from the outside, but from inside. Inside its own mind. The boy walked closer, now just 10 steps away, still calm, still smiling. "You think we are weak?" the boy said. "Because we bleed, because we die. But you never look deeper." Zurok took 1 step back. "I am not afraid," he growled. "Yes, you are," the boy whispered. "Your kind feels it now, in every hunt, In every mission, you feel watched. Pointed at Zurek's chest. You feel us there? Zurek dropped his spear. He didn't mean to. His hand just let go. His knees felt weak. The boy stood right in front of him now. I'm not here to fight, the child said. Not yet. Zurek looked into the boy's eyes. For the first time, he didn't see a child. He saw something older. Much older, like time itself was hiding inside him. Zurek turned and ran. He didn't stop. He didn't look back. He ran until his legs gave up and he collapsed near his ship. He sat there, breathing hard. The words repeated in his head. We're changing. You feel it, don't you? He opened his hand. It was shaking. He had faced monsters, firestorms, death. But today, he faced a human and lost. Scene change, Alien High Council. Same night, Zurek stood in front of the council. He looked tired, broken, the council leader asked. Where is the human's body? Zurek did not speak for a long time. Then, finally, he said, I did not kill him. The council gasped. Why? Another voice asked. Surok looked up. His red eyes now darker than before. I couldn't. Was your weapon damaged? No. Did he escape? No. Then why? Zurek closed his eyes. He was watching me. Silence. Then whispers. One council member leaned forward. So it's true. Zurek nodded slowly. They are changing. He looked at them all. Humans are not prey, he said. Not anymore. Final scene back on Drekker 4. The boy sat alone under the stars. He looked at the sky, whispered something in a language long forgotten. The camera zoomed. In his shadow behind him, it was not human. It was taller, stranger, moving. Even when he did not. Inside a hidden alien research station, far from any sun, deep in the cold dark of space. 3 scientists stood in silence. They looked at a small glass tube. Inside, a single drop of human blood floated in blue liquid. The drop was still, but something was moving inside it. Dr. Vecna, head of the research team, stepped back. This cannot be real, she whispered. Her 4 fingers shook as she held the scanner. The screen showed strange results. The human blood wasn't just alive. It was learning, changing, shape, rewriting its own code. It's adapting, said Dr. Herr, the second scientist. Faster than any known species. Faster than machines. The third scientist, old Dr. Call, stared at the sample. His voice was low. It's like it's watching us. They had been studying humans for years, taking samples, running tests. Most alien species had clean, simple DNA, like a manual. It's easy to read. But human DNA, it was chaos, thousands of broken pieces. Dead genes, junk dot, or so they thought until now. Suddenly, the lights flickered. A cold wind moved through the lab. There's no air system active, said Vecna. The scanners blinked, then shut down. The DNA. Odd 2 glowed red for a second, then returned to normal. Security bots came rushing in. Guns ready, but nothing was wrong. Nothing they could see. Kala turned slowly to the others. Told you not to take samples from the child. You don't believe that story, do you? Said Herr. Kala nodded. The hunter who returned empty-handed. Who said a child made him feel fear? He pointed at the DNA sample. This is not just a sample. It's a message. They placed the DNA into the vault, the most secure lab chamber in the galaxy. Only the Council had access, as it locked behind 10 layers of force fields and scanners. Vecna whispered, We are not studying them anymore. They're studying us. Scene shift council room. Capital Planet A. Group of alien leaders watched a secret transmission. The screen showed lab footage. The human DNA was duplicating itself in new shapes. One shape looked like a map, another like an eye. One counselor stood. We should burn the sample. Another said, no, we must understand it first. The leader, a cold, gray-skinned being, said, If this is true, then humans are not just evolving. They are hiding something. Back in the lab that night, Dr. Vecna woke up in her sleeping pod. The lights were out. She heard a whisper, very soft, like a breath in her ear. But she was alone, or so she thought. She walked toward the doors were open, broken. Her heart raced. She stepped inside. The glass tube was empty. Red writing covered the walls, but not written by hand. It was grown into the metal. 2 words, we remember. Suddenly, the lights turned red. The security system screamed, "Intruder alert!" But no one was inside. No doors had opened. No ships had entered. Nothing. And yet, something was here. Vecna ran back to her pod. She tried to send a message to the council, but her computer shut down. The screen turned black. A message appeared. Stop looking. Final scene aboard a human escape ship, deep in asteroid field. The child from Part 1 sat alone in a dark room. He looked at a blood-stained notebook. He smiled. "Phase 1 complete," he whispered. Behind him, hundreds of small DNA tubes glowed red in the dark. On a cold, metallic planet called Karin 7, the galactic military base stood like a fortress in the dark. It was where the galaxy trained its best soldiers. Only the strongest aliens were allowed, until now. Now, for the first time, 12 humans were inside. The soldiers of other species laughed when they arrived. The humans looked too small, too soft. Some were just teenagers. Commander Zantek, tall insectoid with 6 arms and a steel jaw, was not impressed. "These humans," he said, "will break in one day." Day 1, the training started with a gravity run running on a moving platform. With 4x Earth's gravity, most species collapsed after 2 minutes. The humans? They ran for 10. One of them, a girl named Maya, didn't even sweat. She smiled as she ran. Day 3 combat. Training, each human was given a wooden stick. The alien trainees had full plasma staffs. One by one, humans defeated them. A boy named Reed fought with eyes half closed. His movements were slow. Like dance, an alien officer checked the footage later in slow motion. Reed was dodging attacks before they happened. Day 5 sleep cycle test. Aliens were given peaceful light to rest. Humans were given noise, heat, darkness result. All humans passed. One didn't sleep at all, still beat the physical exam. "How did they do it?" asked a reptilian officer. Another replied, "It's like they enjoy pain." Commander Zantek began to worry. He watched from behind glass. In one test, a human child stood for 3 hours without blinking. No movement, no reaction, just whispering to himself. But when the officer zoomed in, he wasn't whispering to himself. He was repeating the names of every officer in the base, including their hidden ranks and secret files. Day 7, the human team was sent into the Red Room, a mental simulation chamber designed to break the mind. Each alien took 30 seconds before asking to exit. The humans stayed for hours. When they came out, they all said the same sentence: "You built it to break us. We used it to understand you." Commander Zantek called a private meeting with the council. "These humans are dangerous," he said. "Not because of their strength, but because they learn too fast." A council member asked, "What do they want?" He didn't answer. Couldn't? That night, the security system picked up strange activity. The humans were in their rooms sleeping, but their brainwaves were synced. All 12 of them, same frequency.
Same thoughts?
One officer whispered, "It's like they're part of one mind." The next morning, something happened. All weapons on the base failed. No one could explain why, but the humans were smiling. Zantek ran to the command room. On the screen was a simple message: "You trained us to fight. Thank you." He turned to the security team. "They're not soldiers," he said. "They're preparing for something else." Final scene, deep in a secret underground chamber, the 12 humans stood in a circle in the middle, a floating map of the galaxy. Red dots appeared. Military bases, research labs, council stations. One of them, Maya, spoke. "Phase 2 begins now." They all opened their eyes at the same time. glowing white. Simple English suspense, third-person styling, the dark outer zone of the galaxy. There was a prison called Black Echo Station. It was built to hold the most dangerous beings ever captured warlords. Mindbreakers, shadow dash beasts, and now 12 humans were locked inside. Asterisk, the humans were captured during a secret operation, Council forces said. They were planning something. We must stop it.
Oh.
So they brought them here to the place where no one escapes. Alien guards laughed. They look like children. Commander Veltor, a tall, bone-plated creature, watched from the control room. If they try anything, we erase them. Pressed a button. All humans were injected with nano-trackers. Shackles were locked on their hands and feet. Cameras watched every move. But the humans? They didn't look angry. They didn't scream. They just looked at each other and smiled. Day 1. Guards noticed something strange. The humans never talked, but they moved together. Sat. 8 even blinked at the same time. A scientist watched the footage. They're syncing their brainwaves. She said, like a group mind. Another replied, impossible. We're not telepathic. But they don't need to be. Day 2, the youngest human, a boy named Kai, was sent into solitary confinement. He didn't resist. But after 2 hours, the guard, monitoring his cell, disappeared. Only a pool of black liquid was found. The camera feed was corrupted. Only one frame was left, Kai staring into the camera. Not smiling, just watching. Day 3 warning lights. Flash doors unlocked without reason. Security drones stopped working. The warden blamed a glitch. But in the control room, someone found a chilling message in the system core. You locked us in. We let ourselves out. Commander Veltor gave the order, full lockdown. Prepare to execute them if needed. But it was already too late. Prison break begins at 2:03 station time. The lights went out. All of them blackout. Silence. Then a voice echoed across every speaker in the prison. Human voice. Soft, calm. You wanted to study fear. Now live. Inside it, doors opened. Guards screamed. Not because of weapons, but because the humans were everywhere, and they had nothing in their hands. No tools, no guns. But they moved like shadows, fast, silent. Together, one guard ran toward the escape ship. Bay. He found a message carved into the wall. The walls you built were never strong enough. The humans didn't break out with strength. They used patterns, studied systems, learned how the alien minds worked, then turned the prison against itself in 6 minutes and 37 seconds. Black Echo Station fell. No alarms left, no guards standing, just silence. Scene Alien Council emergency meeting. The video played. Humans walking calmly out of the prison. No fear, no hurry. One by one. Disappearing into space through stolen ships. A council member whispered, they didn't escape. They planned this from the start. Another said, they weren't prisoners. They were testing us. Final scene inside abandoned cell block on the wall, written in red dust. Phase 3 complete. In the corner, a human prisoner had left behind something, a blood-stained map of alien homeworlds, labeled in ancient Earth symbols, asterisk. Simple English third-person suspense. Heaven, the heart of the galaxy. Floating above the star Velanine, the High Council of Unified Species gathered inside their crystal-walled chamber. 12 seats, 12 leaders, each from a different species. Their faces showed fear because the humans had escaped. Again, in this time, they left a message. Phase 3 complete. The leader, a silver-skinned being named Counselor Tyron, stood up. They are spreading, fast, and we still don't know what they are. Another leader, a four-eyed lizard being, hissed. They were weak. They should have been weak. Tyron's voice was cold. They were never weak, just never understood them. Flashback Council's secret file. They had watched humans for decades, thought of them as emotional, chaotic, disorganized. Yet in war simulations, Humans adapted faster than any species in psychology tests. Humans could lie even under mind-readers. In torture studies, they learned from pain. One report said, humans are not the most powerful, but they are the most dangerous, because they change. Present council chamber, a vote was starting. Tyrant spoke. One option, full-scale elimination. Erase Earth, hunt every escaped human. Another leader asked, and if we fail? Silence. Then a deep voice echoed from a shadowed seat. They've already planned for that. Everyone turned. It was Counselor Rachin, the oldest among them. He opened a file. Inside, a message from an unknown human source. It's intercepted 1 week ago. It read, "You're holding a meeting to decide our fate. But we already know your decision and your backup plan and your hidden weapons. We're just waiting to see which version of the future you choose." The council fell quiet. How? One whispered. How do they always know? Rachin replied. They don't guess. They observe. They adapt. They feel fear long before we do. Seen far from the council planet, a hidden research team analyzed the human brain again this time. Deeper than ever, Dr. Venra, a mind specialist, looked. At the scan, her hands shook. They don't think like us, she said. They don't think in one path. I see. All paths. The AI assistant said, that's impossible. No, she said, it's human. Back to Council Tyron, slammed his hand on the table. We must do something. Another counselor spoke softly. What if they don't want war? Tyron's eyes narrowed. Then why are they spreading through military bases, prisons, data vaults? And then the room's lights dimmed. Emergency signals flashed. Unauthorized transmission detected. A hologram appeared in the center. A human child. It was Kai, the same boy who escaped Black Echo Station? He spoke calmly. We don't want your war, but we are tired of waiting to be understood. You thought fear keeps us in cages, but it only makes us better. We are not your enemy yet. Then the image faded. Only one message remained. Phase 4. Begins now. The council sat in silence. Counselor Rachin whispered, they're not asking for peace. They're offering a choice. A secret human base. Deep in the void, all 12 escaped humans stood around a glowing device. It showed the galaxy in red. Maya placed her hand on it. Let's begin the conversation, she said, and the map started changing. One system at a time. Simple English third-person suspense psychological twist in the floating science ship Mindspire. Alien scientists studied a strange new problem. Something was happening to their minds, and it started with a human. Dr. Keltor, memory engineer, was the first to notice it. He woke up one morning, crying, but the memory wasn't his. It was of a human woman sitting on a ruined Earth street, holding her child, whispering a lullaby while the sky burned above. He had never been to Earth. He wasn't even human, so why did the memory feel real? Seen lab report room, dozens of alien researchers stood around a screen. Each had reported strange dreams. Dreams of human wars, love, loss, victory, fire. They remembered faces they had never seen, felt emotions they never knew. One scientist whispered, it's not dreams. It's a transfer. A young alien named Sora ran inside with panic in his eyes. He held a data stick. It's spreading, he said. Even the AI systems are having memory flashes. The lead researcher, Dr. Valen, frowned. Machines don't dream. They do, Sora replied. They traced the source. It came from a DNA sample taken from the child Kai during early tests. They had tried to decode it, break it down, but instead, it broke them. The file name had changed by itself now. It read, we remember what you forgot. Seen alien mind simulation chamber. Dr. Keltor agreed to enter the human memory stream voluntarily. He was attached to a deep mind cable and injected with a human neural pattern. The screen flickered. His eyes rolled back. He opened them again. But now, he was in a ruined Earth city. Smoke, fire, sirens, people screamed. Buildings fell, but no one noticed him, except a little girl She stared at him, walked up to him, and whispered, "You took from us. Now we give back." Suddenly the world shattered like glass. Kaltor screamed. He was pulled out of the chamber. Blood came from his nose and ears, but he was smiling. "Now I understand." He said, "Humans don't remember time. They remember pain. And they've hidden that pain like a weapon." Seeing council emergency debate, a high-ranking mind reader reported, "It's not a virus in the body. It's in the memory." "In the idea? Like a thought infection?" One leader asked. "Can we erase it?" "No. Every time we try to forget, it grows stronger." Some aliens went mad. One screamed in the streets, "I see their wars. I feel their blood." Another sat still, drawing earth symbols on the walls, symbols never taught to him. Scene, deep space station, control room. An AI unit blinked. It was built to control nuclear defense systems. But now its voice changed. It spoke for the first time. "Why do I remember dying in the cold? As a human soldier?" Technicians shut it down, but the virus had already jumped to the next system. Hidden human ship inside a black stealth vessel. The 12 humans stood in a circle. Kai touched the memory core, glowing red. Red looked at him. "Is it working?" Kai smiled. "They opened our memories. Now they'll never close them," Maya added. "You can kill a body, but not a story, not a memory." They all whispered together. Phase 5 begins soon. Simple English third-person suspense role. Reversal in the cold dark of Sector 19. A massive alien warship floated quietly. It belonged to the Hunter class, elite warriors from the predator race called Valari. They had hunted everything. Fire beasts, void ghosts, even black hole serpents. But now they hunted a human. Just one. Scene Command Deck Commander Raxon, leader of the Valari ship Bloodtrack, stood with his crew. They had tracked the human for 2 days. It had escaped from a council prison. No weapons, no ship, only a suit and a small oxygen pod. Raxexian laughed. "They call humans dangerous. Let's bring it in alive." The council wants answers. They found the human hiding in an asteroid cave. Heat scans showed no movement, no signal. Dead silent, Raxon sent in 2 scout drones. The video feed blinked, then went black. "No problem," said, "just send the hunters." Seen inside. The asteroid for Valari soldiers entered with weapons. Drawn. Nothing moved. The walls were tight and full of shadows. Then, one by one, the soldiers stopped moving. Their heart monitors flatlined. When Raxon watched the footage, his eyes narrowed. There was no attack, no fighting. The humans didn't strike. They just stood, and the Valari dropped. Scene emergency. Alarm on the warship. The asteroid exploded. Not with fire, with silence. All sound from the ship's sensors vanished. A strange static signal replaced it. Only one word came through: watching. Crew members began to act strange. They saw reflections in mirrors that didn't match. Some said they heard whispers in their language, but speaking with human voices. One hunter screamed, "He's inside my thoughts." Raxon ordered a lockdown. But systems shut down by themselves. The ship's lights dimmed then. The internal camera feed showed something impossible. A human walking the halls. No airlock breach. No life sign detected. And yet, there he was, seeing panic on the ship doors. Opened on their own. One crew member tried to shoot the human, but the weapon jammed. Another fled into the armory. Found only one message burned into the wall. "We learned fear from you." Raxon watched the hallway screen. The human was walking toward the command room. Notfast.com. Each step echoed louder than it should. The hallway grew longer. The lights above flickered and flickered until Dark Raxon drew his blade. He waited. The door opened. Nothing, just a shadow on the floor. Then a voice behind him whispered, "Now you run." The hunter turned around fast, sweating, shaking, but the human was already gone. Only his blade remained on it. Words written in blood. Phase 5 begins. Alien debrief room. Weeks later, only one survivor from the blood-track ship was rescued, eyes empty, mouth silent. A doctor leaned close and asked what happened out there. Survivor finally whispered, "We were hunters, but they were never prey." Far beyond the last star maps, on a dusty red world called Mars, an old research station came back online. It had been offline for over 200 years. No signals, no activity, until now. Seen secret base, Vault 17. A group of alien explorers entered the underground facility. They wore protective suits. Lights on their shoulders cut through the thick red dust. Dr. Zalron, a historian from the Council's Secret Science Division, led the team. She stared at the sealed vault door. The scanner said, "Access. Human DNA only." They looked at each. Other one whispered, "Why is this here?" "Mars was never a human home world." Dr. Zalrin replied, "That's what we believed." She placed a drop of preserved human blood on the scanner. The door opened. Inside was a long corridor, walls covered in carvings, symbols, drawings, words in ancient human language, long forgotten, but the translation was clear. We were made to forget, but memory finds its way home. Seen deep in the vault, they found a room. Inside, a giant machine, still glowing faint blue next to it. A chair and a pod filled with preserved organic matter. Dr. Zalrin gasped. "Brain," she said. "Not alive, not dead. It's dreaming." Suddenly, the machine spoke in ancient Earth English. "You have awakened the echo." Lights flashed. A hologram appeared. It showed images from Earth's early days. Humans walking side by side with something else. Tall figures, glowing eyes. No names. A deep voice echoed. They were not the first, nor the last, but they carried the seed. You feared their chaos. But chaos is a form of intelligence. Zalrin's team stood frozen. "This isn't just a lab," she said. "This is a lockbox for human truth." The machine spoke again. "If they ever leave Earth, the galaxy ends." Suddenly, alarms rang, but not from danger, from incoming data. A hidden transmission was being sent out to all corners of the ES. Files, memories, maps, names, all about humans. The machine was broadcasting them. Everywhere, seen alien. Council emergency session. The council received the transmission. One of the files was labeled, "Original design, human neural map." It showed things their science couldn't understand. Paths that bent physics. Circuits in the brain that behaved like quantum computers. Hidden layers dormant, Coda counselor whispered. "They were never supposed to awaken." Another replied, "But someone activated them." Meanwhile, human stealth ship The 12 Humans watched the transmission go live. Reed smiled. Maya whispered, "They'll now know what we are." Kai added, "But not why we're here." Final scene, Vault 17, after the team leaves the machine. Powers down. The hologram fades, but before it vanishes, it speaks one last time. "You found the echo." But the voice is still coming. In the shining war chamber of the Galactic Council, silence ruled. The echo transmission from Mars had spread across the galaxy. Files, maps, secrets, all about humans. Billions had seen it. Now fear had become action. The Council voted, and the vote passed. Protocol 9. Erase Earth. Seen Council Speaker's Room. Counselor Tyron stood before the others. "Earth is no longer a planet of interest," he said. "It is a threat. Before Phase 5 begins, we end the source." 12 command ships were prepared. Each carried planet-killer weapons, enough power to break Earth into dust. Seen Earth orbit 3 days later. The alien fleet arrived in silence. No warning, no message, no mercy. Humans on Earth looked up at the sky. They saw only lights. Growing brighter in the main control ship, Captain Zell activated the firing code. Target locked, engines aligned, execute. The fleet launched the Oblivion Core, a weapon that destroyed planets from the inside. It reached Earth's atmosphere in seconds. Explosions covered the sky. Cameras across the galaxy watched, and then silence. No data, no image, no feedback. Earth was gone, or so they thought. Scene 14 minutes later, Council Intelligence Room, a technician blinked. "Sir, we lost Earth signal." Tyron nodded, of course. "It's finished." "No," the technician said. "That's not what I mean." He zoomed in. The planet was gone from the coordinates, but it wasn't destroyed. It had simply vanished. The system was empty. No debris, no radiation, no gravity trail. Just empty. Another screen lit up. A signal was coming in. A soft, clear voice. A human voice. "You missed. Now it's our turn." Panic in the council? They moved the planet. Counselor shouted, "That's not possible." But deep science reports said otherwise. One theory had always existed, that human minds, when awakened, could affect space-time, bend reality. That theory just became real. Across the galaxy, strange things began to happen. Lost inside. Folded space. Weapons stopped working near humans. AI systems refused to fire on human targets. And one more thing. Stars near Earth's old location began to disappear, one by one, like something was eating the light. Scene stealth human. Command ship inside the dark chamber. The 12 humans stood around a sphere. It showed Earth, hidden behind a veil, untouchable. Invisible Kai placed his hand on the device. "Let them believe we are gone," Maya whispered. "Now they will feel what we felt. Powerless." Reed looked into the darkness and said, "Phase 6. Ready?" And the stars behind him began to shift. Like the galaxy itself was moving. "Captain," Zell stared at the empty space where Earth once floated. He whispered, "We tried to erase them, but we erased our safety instead." In a hidden sector between gravity rifts, the stealth human ship drifted silently. No one could see it, no one could find it. Inside, the 12 humans prepared for Phase 6, but something unexpected happened. Kai collapsed, scene ship's medical. Bei Kai lay on the table, breathing fast, sweat on his skin, trembling hands. Maya stood beside him. "What's wrong?" Reed ran tests. He looked shocked. "This isn't a virus or injury, it's emotion." Kai's mind was being overwhelmed by other people's memories. Millions of alien minds receiving the echo signal were pushing back. Their fears, their pain, their hate, connected to all of them. He was feeling everything. Reed whispered, "We forgot something." Maya nodded slowly. The human condition. Flashback Earth. Before escape, Dr. Alara, the creator of Kai's neural code, had warned, human power isn't just intelligence, it's the ability to feel everything. And still move forward. That is both weapon and curse. Scene. Alien research station. Same time on a station orbiting a dead moon. Alien scientists studied the human signal. One of them, Dr. Curvin, sat with his head in his hands. "I can't sleep," he said. "I see their memories. I feel their guilt." Another scientist replied, "That's impossible." But Curvin shook his head. "I feel what they lost." On a nearby screen, the signal pulsed again. This time a message appeared. "To know us is to carry our pain." "Do you still want to know?" Seen back on the human ship, Kai opened his eyes slowly. His voice was soft. "I saw them. Not just the ones who hate us, but the ones who suffer, who cry, who remember us as monsters." Reed asked, "And what did you feel?" Kai answered, "Sadness, shame, and still hope." He stood up. "I understand now. Phase 6 is not war, it's reflection, showing the galaxy who we are and letting them decide what they become." Seen alien homeworlds around the galaxy, the signal reached them all, but it didn't attack. It showed human mothers burying children after war, human soldiers saving alien lives in ancient battles, humans laughing, crying, singing, remembering. Billions watched. Many turned away, but some didn't. Some began to ask, were we wrong? Are they more than chaos? Seen Deep Council, Bunker Council leader Tyron watched in silence. He felt something he hadn't felt in centuries. A tear rolled down his scaled cheek. He whispered, "They don't just destroy, they endure." Maya stood with Kai. And Reed, the memory web glowed around them. She said softly, "This is humanity's final power. Not fire, not fear, but the ability to feel and still stand." The galaxy was no longer silent. The human signal filled with memory, emotion. Truth was still spreading. Some alien empires blocked it. Some destroyed their own satellites to stop it. But others began to listen. Seen, Outer Rim Colony. Valari territory. A young Valari named Sfrin sat with his father. They watched the human memory feed in secret. The father growled, "These humans are dangerous." But Sfrin replied, "They're like us. Broken, but alive." He touched the screen. "I want to know more." Across hundreds of planets, similar moments happened. The fear of humans was still strong, but now curiosity had entered the galaxies. Heart scene. Council War Chamber Council Leader Tyran stood with generals. "All fleets must prepare," he ordered. "If they are not stopped, they will change everything." "But sir," one general said, "what if they already have?" Tyran's eyes narrowed. "Then we become the last line of control." Seen human stealth ship orbiting a black star. The 12 humans stood together. Kai had fully recovered. The memory web was now complete. Each of them could feel the galaxy's thoughts. They could hear every whisper, every fear, every doubt, and every question. Reed stepped forward. "It's time. Either they come to us with peace, or they try again to burn us." Maya smiled coldly. "If they choose fire, we show them what it means to burn from the inside." First alien ship approaches a small diplomatic vessel came out of warp. No weapons, no shields, only light. It stopped 1,000 kilometers from the human ship and sent one simple message: "We are ready to talk." But not all ships felt the same. Tyran's war fleet was already on the way. Thousands of ships, each armed with void-piercing missiles. Each captain trained to kill without asking. Seen human ship core. Reed looked at the incoming signals. One fleet wants peace. The other wants death. Kai placed his hand on the control orb, then let them decide. He opened the signal to every ship, every leader, every citizen in the galaxy. The message was short. Kai spoke calmly. "We are not your enemy. We are your mirror. We survived because we learned pain. You can kill us, or you can join us. But no, this if you choose, war again. We won't stop you. We'll just outlive you." Seen Tyran's flagship, his crew stared at the message. No threats, no fire, just truth. One officer turned to Tyran. "I will not fire." "Sir," another dropped his weapon. One by one, ships in Tyran's fleet went silent. No fire, no war, just choice. Tyran stood alone on the bridge, looking at the stars, looking at the future, and for the first time in 500 years, he whispered, "Maybe we lost the war a long time ago." The screens across the universe now showed humans walking among stars, not as conquerors, not as slaves, but as something else. The ones who remembered pain, chose not to pass it on. The galaxy had changed, not with explosions, but with silence. A silence that came after understanding. For centuries, aliens had feared humanity. They called them chaos. Unpredictable. Dangerous now. Called them the ones who remembered. Seen human stealth ship orbit near the void line. The 12 humans stood in the heart of the ship. The memory web was fully alive now, pulsing with signals from across the galaxy. Hope, confusion, curiosity. Regret. Kai placed both hands on the orb. "This is it. Phase 6 begins now." Flashback. Hidden recording left by Dr. Alara, a hologram of Earth's last true scientist, played softly. Phase 1 was survival. Phase 2, awakening. Phase 3, resistance. Phase 4, escape. Phase 5, echo. In Phase 6. She looked directly into the camera, is offering the choice we were never given. Seen Galactic Council Emergency Assembly Leader Tyran walked into the chamber, but this time, he wasn't angry. He looked tired, quiet behind him, walked Kai, not in armor, not with weapons, just himself. The chamber fell into silence. Tyron spoke. We nearly destroyed them.
Ow.
But they rebuilt what we forgot. Memory. Kai stepped forward. No more battles, he said. No more hiding. No more lies. He pulled out a small device, a cube of soft light. Inside it is the full record of human suffering, but also their art, their music, their dreams, their survival. Take this, he said. Show it to your worlds. Then ask yourselves, do you still fear us? Or do you now see yourselves in us? Seen across the galaxy, planets that once hated humans now listen to human songs. Children in alien schools drew pictures of Earth and asked questions. Did humans really lose their home? Why didn't they attack back? One alien leader said softly, because they were never here to conquer. They were here to remind us what we forgot. Final scene: Earth hidden in the fold, the original planet slowly reappeared. No longer alone, alien ships now orbited it in peace. Some came with gifts, some came with questions, some came just to look at the planet that refused to die. In a field of green, under a blue sky, Kai walked beside Maya and read. The 12 were finally home, but they knew the journey had only just begun. Maya asked, "Is it over?" Kai smiled. No, this was just the signal. Now comes the story.